I've had numerous people tell me about how they're going to start making YouTube videos and how they have all these ideas or whatever. I was thinking maybe it's time I make a video and I talk about that. I actually went to school for video post-production, doing visual effects and motion graphics, technically. But I was working full-time when I was going to school, and so I never got good at it. I was very bad at doing visual effects and motion graphics. But that degree also encompassed film technique and lighting technique and editing technique. And after I learned all that stuff, I realized, hey, I think I'd rather just do film. But obviously I never got a job doing that because I wasn't good, because I didn't practice enough in any of it, because I didn't have time, because I was working to pay for the school that I shouldn't have really been going to. So it's a funny situation. That school basically taught me what tools I needed and kind of where to start with using the tools. Didn't really go much further than that. And one of the biggest things I walked away with was understanding that if you're going to be good and you're going to make videos that don't suck, you have to be objective with your work. So we'll talk about some things right now that I think you need to know or need to understand if you're going to make YouTube videos that don't suck. So number one, you need to have low expectations of yourself and of what you're going to accomplish, because your videos are going to suck and nobody's going to watch them. And that's probably the hardest part about getting started on YouTube, because there's so many people on here making videos. It's tough to actually get your videos seen. And the way, I used to think it was unfair, but the way that YouTube actually kind of shows your content is the more people watch it and the longer they watch it, the more YouTube will promote it in suggested videos and whatnot. And that is how you grow. And I used to think it was a shitty mechanism, but how else could you do it? You know, I think it makes a lot of sense. So basically, if you come in with expectations that you're going to be making some good videos and you're going to be somebody, then you're going to be disappointed. At least in the beginning. That leads me into the second thing that you should not do, and that's act like you're somebody. Because I hate it when I view some YouTube video that's got like 5 views on it and the person creating the video is acting like they're the best, you know? It's like, don't start your video off like saying goofy shit. Don't address your fans when you don't have any fans. Like, you need to be humble. That's all I'm saying. It's like, just do the thing that you're trying to do, and don't pretend like you're successful before you're successful. Like, I don't even do that. Frankly, I hate every video I make. But that actually leads me into the third point. Things that you should or should not do. Number 3 is you need to view your material objectively, which is something a lot of my fellow students in college failed to do. Whenever there was a video project, we would have a day in class where we all presented our video that we created. And you see people that would get better, and you see people that would suck. The reason those people never got any better was because they thought that their videos were good. Like, you need to be able to try as hard as you can to create your video, edit your video, and then watch it, and then you need to throw it away. Like, you need to look at it after all that work and say, this isn't very good, and this is the reason why it's not very good. And next time, I'm going to make a little tweak here or a little tweak there, and it's going to get better. And that's what you got to do, and that's how you grow as a fucking filmmaker, is you have to kind of hate yourself. And that's part of the reason I think I'm still doing this, is because every time I create a video, I feel really good about it, and then like a week later, I hate it. I hate it. Oh. Like, I'm proud of all those camping videos I've done, but just keep thinking, God, it could be so much more than it is. If I would just work harder, it could be so much more. So that's number 3. You need to be objective. In fact, one of the things I recommend is once you finish your video, you need to watch it and really honestly ask yourself that if you had just randomly found this on the internet, would you watch it? Like, would you actually sit through it? It's fun to watch your own movies. And if that's what you're after, that's fine. That's cool. You know, it's a lot of people have a hobby where they make home videos and they enjoy watching them. If you're trying to grow, then the whole point is to create entertainment. I don't remember what number we're on. What are we on, 4? I don't know why. I'm trying to remember how we're numbering this. But the next thing is you're going to be overwhelmed with the process. Like, I came into this already knowing what I needed, right? I already knew the tools, I knew the cameras, I knew the editing, I knew the software. So I started from a place that was a little more knowledgeable. But most people who want to do this are not starting with any information. And that can be overwhelming because to get into it, you got to buy a fucking $400 camera, you know, and then you got to figure out how to talk on camera, which is a hurdle in itself. And then once you do that, then you got to figure out how to edit the footage. And having no understanding of editing, there can be a lot there to learn. What I recommend is, get the equipment first of all, right? So you need to get yourself your camera, get your preferred video editing program, and just try to make some videos. Try as hard as you can to make them as good as you can. Try to make 10 of them. Make 10 videos that you tried your hardest at. And once you're done with 10, see how you feel about it. Like, see if you're more comfortable with working a camera and talking on camera and having a plan for what you're going to film and editing the footage, because I guarantee you will, you know, because practice makes perfect. Point is, if you just make yourself do it, you're going to gain some confidence. And that's something else I see a lot of people do, is they say they're going to start doing stuff and they make 1 or 2 videos and then they get, I don't know if they get disappointed in themselves or what, but they stop uploading for months and months and months. So what you need to do is you need to focus on actually putting work in. Challenge yourself. So those are the basics. Probably the last thing that I would say is subscribers don't really matter. I think we all look at the subscriber numbers like success level of a YouTube channel, but in reality, it's not really. And I used to think it was, but I've seen a lot of channels where they have thousands, even tens of thousands of subscribers, and they get views in the hundreds. Something's not lining up right there, you know what I mean? If you got 10,000 followers, you should have more than 200 views on a video, right? My point is, more important than subscribers is your viewer engagement. In my case, I've got about 2,600 subscribers right now, but on any given decent motorcycle video that I upload, I get about 1,000 views, maybe a little more. And that's almost 50% engagement. That's better than a lot of what other channels I've seen have, even bigger channels. And there's something to think about, because the views are actually what matters, because that's what drives your success as a creator. Because if you're getting more views and they're watching longer and people are coming back every week, YouTube's going to notice that. So don't worry so much about getting subscribers, and worry more about getting viewers and retaining them, because that's really the important part. And then there's the money, which is basically non-existent. I heard a long time ago you're not supposed to talk about what you make on YouTube, but I've never read that anywhere. When I signed up for AdSense, I never signed anything that said I wasn't allowed to talk about it. But you're not really going to make any money. Like, people act like it's possible, and it is, but like, you need to be a lot bigger than you probably think you need to be. You know, because like my best performing videos are ones where I go camping, right? In a 2-day period after uploading one of those videos, that will get anywhere between 1,200 and 2,000 views. And each of those videos has an estimated earnings of about $10, right, for like 2 days. And then the weeks following, that estimated earnings drops. Basically 30, 35 hours, 40 hours of work in creating that and editing that. $10 is that's not enough. And that's only like when the videos are first uploaded. I mean, after a month, that revenue drops to like $3 or $4 estimated earnings for those videos. So I'm saying is, like, monthly, with everything I have, all my old videos, all the new ones I'm creating, my estimated earnings hover around $50 a month, which is not really enough to do much with. I mean, I've managed to actually buy camera equipment with it, and I've managed to do some motorcycle maintenance with it, but other than that, dude, there's not much there. So if you think you're gonna go on YouTube and be the next YouTube star, then more power to you. But more than likely you're gonna have your soul crushed, because that's what YouTube does, and that's what video production does, honestly. Like when I was in school, my skin got a lot thicker, because when you present a video project, the teacher tears it apart in front of the class every time, right? That's the point of the class, is to learn, right? So he tears it apart. But like when you've created something that you've spent so much time on and so much effort, and then your teacher tells you it's shit, you learn to take that. You can take that two ways. You can be offended by it and you can hate your teacher, and you can continue making shitty videos, or you can take that and you can actually try to improve what you're doing. I say that because when I give advice, that advice probably is going to sound blunt. But if you're one of those guys that wants to start up a YouTube channel and start moto vlogging, doing whatever, feel free to shoot me an email. I always answer emails. Most of the time I answer comments. But just hit me up and I can talk about it.